Everyone is insecure about something, and it's honestly not a bad thing. In in the world that we live in the world that we've grown up in, a lot of the times, honestly, I want to say like for mostly anybody, your childhood, say like everything goes right, but like your early stages are really the most confident years of your life. Um, for instance, like you want to, like as a kid, like you want to put your hand on the stove, on a hot stove, right? Because there's no sense of threat, there's no sense of fear, like security or protection. So you just kind of do things just to see, like, oh, what's this about? Um, you're walking through the street and your mom is holding your hand, but you really can't understand why she's doing that because you see these big cars and like they look like freaking spaceships at this time, but like it's just curiosity, And I feel like at that age we're truly limitless. Like we want to touch everything, we want to experience everything, we want to feel everything. And it's not until we go through experiences that show you what these things actually are. Rather, it was your parents kind of like teaching you a lesson, or it just happening by chance, and then you realize like, oh, okay. And then your brain creates this barrier like, okay, never do this again, right? And I guess it can translate to like trauma or something revolving around more so like relationships and like emotional things like that. Say you get your heart broken by a girl and you just overinvest your time, or show too much of yourself, right? Then it's kind of like, okay, from now on, I'm gonna act this way. I'm gonna keep my guard up. Or it could be, I'm gonna do every girl wrong. I'm gonna use her, like stuff like that. But really, these insecurities come from. It's simply just like somebody could point out something, and it could be something you never thought of before, or that you never saw in yourself before, and you're like, dang, like maybe they have a point. So then it becomes this what can I say, this focus point, but like not in a good way. Especially if it's something in your life where people kind of like bring it up all the time. It could be your weight, or it could be like a body mark, or just your face. But some people make up for this by acting overly confident or chasing status or validation from other things or other sources. And it's kind of like, it's kind of hard to say yeah, my bad. It's kind of hard to say that's wrong, because okay, you're building your strengths, but it's like, okay, still in this area you might feel like, dang. But I think it just honestly comes back to that everybody's flawed in some way. It kind of sucks that something like that could stick with you, but it's kind of where giving yourself peace with that, and just kind of accepting it, that you're like, okay, like if we're all flawed, we all have weaknesses, then it's okay that I might not be perfect in this area. Take for instance, bodybuilders. they could spend their whole lives working out, but in their head they still see either that fat kid or like that skinny kid, and like body dysmorphia, and it turns into obsession. Something that was supposed to truly be self-improvement, it really just kind of turns into a crutch and like unhealthy cope. And also too, it can develop into this ego. You kind of see this like in, I think I talked about this a couple videos ago, but like in like the Spider-Man movies, Peter spends pretty much all his life invisible until he gets a second chance, after getting bit by a spider. So he develops all this confidence, and at first he was really going to use it selfishly, just to take Mary Jane on a date and even get a new car, like just to impress her. His main goal was really to impress her, though. He goes to his wrestling match, he wins, and then some altercation happens and he lets this robber go. And it's this robber that ends up killing his uncle, and he realizes that, okay, I can't be selfish with this. I have to use this to help people. Hence the quote, with great power comes great responsibility. And it's honestly a theme that I can find relatable to, because I've experienced that in my life like multiple times. And right now, again, I'm watching Smallville, and you kind of see the same thing. Like, his parents don't outright say that, but his parents hold him to the standard of essentially doing the right thing. So a lot of the times he sacrifices things that he wants in the moment for just doing the right thing and who he wants to be in the future, like his destiny. And a lot of the time, you see when people have glow ups or just have it come up, you can see their true intentions. You can see their insecurities, but now they're more loud. So, like, you might have rappers that they'll call you broke and stuff, but it's like, bro, you were just broke a year ago. You know what I'm saying? Like, stuff like that. Or people too that think like their value comes from just their looks and not from their character. Essentially, they turn, like, okay, what once was an insecurity is now quote unquote a strength, but it's still insecurity because this is where they get their validation from. They're not getting their validation from God, they're not getting it from themselves, like truly loving themselves. So they're like, okay, since I'm better now, or I leveled up in this area, I can flex on everybody else. And that's not right either. But long story short, just love yourself. You were made to be imperfect. Like, your true innate nature, like your beauty, comes from you being flawed and you having strengths in different areas. That way, when you meet people that want to do this life journey with you, they can make up for those flaws. That's why we have community. But I'll see you on the next one.